everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cavanaugh's Corner. As always, I'm Andrew Cavanaugh. Thank you for coming back to our channel. We really appreciate it. Today, I'm going to be talking about something I'm actually very excited to talk to you about. There's a Netflix show that has been really popular over the past couple weeks, and actually I should say about a month or so. And the name of the show is called Stranger Things, and I'm talking about it today because I finally finished watching it. Honestly, I just didn't have the time when it first aired to watch the entire thing, but now that I've gotten through the whole show, I feel obligated to do a review of it, because it's honestly one of the best shows I think I've seen in many years. Definitely one of the best shows I've seen on Netflix. And don't get me wrong, I love Daredevil and House of Cards, even though I haven't actually watched House of Cards like the last 2 or 3 seasons. I just haven't watched. I didn't feel like it was a show that demanded my attention. Stranger Things is a show that demanded my attention. I'm not saying that House of Cards isn't a good show. It is. I just, for whatever reason, it was just too overly nasty for me. But Stranger Things is right up my alley. This is an absolutely invigorating show. From the very first couple minutes of the show, it grabbed me, and I could not stop watching after that. I literally blew through this whole show within the last couple days, and honestly, I loved every minute of it. This was a phenomenal show. Everything from the casting, the acting, the cinematography, the scripts, to everything on this show. Everything was phenomenal, and I'm going to talk about phenomenal all the way through. There wasn't one episode that I thought missed the mark. Everything was well done. The story in this show, in a nutshell, and I'm not going to spoil anything in this review, because you really should watch this show. You need to watch this show. The story in this basically follows 3 kids whose best friend goes missing, and during the way they find this girl, this very mysterious girl who has like a shaved head, and they soon find out that she kind of has these very interesting powers. And what is going on is soon revealed that there's some very nefarious government types going after this girl because she may know the whereabouts of their friend. And I'm not going to say any more than that, because it's a very interesting TV show, and you should watch the show because the story unfolds as the show goes on, and you really need to watch this. You really need to watch this. Because half the show that I think that's really great about is the fact that they reveal everything as time goes on in just the right amount of time to keep you interested and keep you watching. And the season is only 8 episodes, but I think that's perfect for this. I think if they did like 22 episodes or something like that, it would be way too stretched out and it would be way too unbelievable. This is just enough where I felt like I watched an 8-hour masterpiece kind of film, instead of watching like a 24-hour very long, drawn-out, boring movie. This was a very brisk 8 hours, which, if that even exists, but it was also a very edge-of-your-seat kind of 8 hours, too, where I really felt, I didn't know what was going to happen from one minute to the other. I really felt in suspense, and also in laughter a lot of times. I was laughing my ass off a lot during this, but there was some really suspenseful moments in this show. And I think the directors and the creators of the show, the Duffy brothers, need to be applauded for that, because they did an amazing job on many fronts. Like I said, it's the other thing I like about the show is that it goes from very funny to very serious, very suspenseful, very scary, all within a couple minutes of one another sometimes. And there are some moments in the show where I felt like I was watching something out of the 80s. I think the time period this show is set in, if you didn't know, the show is set in, I think it's like 83, 82 during that time period, which is a great time. And you really get that whole time period. You get the feeling you're in that time period in this. Even the way it's shot, it really does feel like you're watching a Spielberg movie from that time period, especially like E.T. and Close Encounters. You really get that kind of aura of that in this, which I think is great. I love those movies, and I love the way that they shot this. I think it's awesome. I think also a lot of credit is due to the child actors that are in this. The three main leads, especially the actress that plays Eleven, the character Eleven, they are just mind-blowingly incredible in this. They are some of the best child actors I think I've ever seen. I really felt like these characters, like I knew them. They felt like kids that I knew that when I was growing up. And I think that was great. I think that was a great, great aspect of the show. I also think Winona Ryder deserves some kind of nomination for this show because she is phenomenal. She is absolutely phenomenal. She gives a great dynamic performance, and I also think she really portrays a mother that feels loss, feels guilt, and also doesn't quite understand what is going on. So there's a lot of supernatural stuff that happens in the show, and I think the way she reacts to the supernatural stuff is the way my mom would react to this similar situation. She seems like a real-life character, and again, not a caricature, but a real-life person going through this kind of pain. And I think that's great. I think that's a great, great part of her character. The cinematography, like I mentioned earlier, is a very filmic type cinematography. This is not shot in a way where it looks like a TV show like some other shows on Netflix are filmed. This show looks like a movie. Actually, I think it looks better than most stuff that's on TV now. It felt like a movie from the 80s. I felt like I was watching something from that time period the whole time, and it really does make for the whole experience to be kind of a timeless one. And some scenes, I found it hard to believe they just filmed this recently, but they did. They did a great job, especially the set dressing and the props and stuff. They really did a good job, especially the cars. They did a really good job of getting vehicles from that time period, and also just the way that things are painted, color ranges that are used in the show. I think it's great. I think it's a really great job they did with that. The detail to certain things, like they show like the Thing on TV in one episode, and it's really, really well done. I think they did an awesome job with that. It felt like a really loving homage to the movies and literature of that time period. Actually, there's a couple references to Stephen King throughout the entire show, because it really does feel like you're watching a Stephen King novel. And I think that's great. I love that, because I really love the older Stephen King novels. I really love those books. But this is a great, great homage to that time period. I think they did a wonderful job. The only thing I can really nitpick is that the ultimate reveal of the monster that's in this show, and I'm not going to speak any more about it, but the ultimate reveal of the monster is a little bit lame. I think because the build-up to it is so immense that it doesn't really deliver quite the punch that we were hoping for. But in the end, I mean, that's just a small nitpick for an otherwise absolutely awesome show. I cannot wait for the second season of this to begin. I think it's a great TV show, and I really hope this show goes on for a long period of time, because we really needed something like this. This is different. It's out of the realm of most things you see on TV. It's a mystery. It's an action show. It's a drama. It's a comedy. It's psychological. It's supernatural. It's everything you could possibly ask for in a show. And I think it's a wonderful, wonderful addition to Netflix' already pretty wide array of shows. I think, honestly, this is my favorite one that's ever aired on the subscription service. It is actually worth signing up to Netflix for. I mean that. It's actually worth the money. When this comes out on Blu-ray, I'm going to buy it if and when it comes out. Hopefully it'll come out on Blu-ray. If it does, I'm buying it because I want to own this show. It is that damn good. I'm giving it a review. I'm going to give my review for this. I think I'm going to give it like a 4.5 out of 5. I loved it that much. Like I said, except for the monster reveal, the rest of it it's riveting television. Riveting, riveting television. Actually surpasses the realm of television and goes into more of the film category. But in the end, it's a show. It doesn't feel like a show. But it is, and I really hope we get more stuff like this in the future. Until then, I'm Andrew Cavanaugh. Thank you for coming back to Cavanaugh's Corner. We'll see you on the next one. Good night.